First of all, I want to have a moment of silence because we lost some people. Well, we didn't lose them. They just went elsewhere. Including my younger brother, he was a class 6, OT4. No, I didn't get on knots. He finally got on knots. So, yeah. And Kay's still not here, right? Kay? Yeah, we lost Perry. She called me and she's driving. She's still driving. Okay. So she's fine. And a few others. So just a moment of silence, please, okay? Just nod your head, okay? Yeah, all right. Thank you. When I do that, my postulate and intention is to make sure that they pass through the watchers out there and they don't get implanted again, and they make it out. All right? That's my intention. There's some people that I know, their intention is to recycle and try to make a better world. We're still here, so we've got to work on making a better world, or we're still here, right? Oh, yeah. I want to welcome my Ukrainian friends here, and give them a hand. They we're both on OT2. We're finished. We'll see. We have to do in a test cycle.
Cool.
Yeah. And we're going to get them all the way up the bridge, all the way up to 8, right? Or more. We're doing that with people, and we're still doing it. We're still doing it. People can criticize us, people like me, but, you know, I always ask them when people criticize, I always say, well, how many people did you clear? How many OTs have you made? See, I've been auditing for 50 years, half a century. Right. Just to give you some reality of who's standing up there talking to you.
Yeah.
I did 1,000.
You used to have hair when you started.
Yeah, I had hair when I started. It was long down to here, hippie style. Yeah, I had 1,000 hours of Dianetics. Seen 20,000 past lives of mine.
Wow.
See? I've been around the moon as an exterior being. This lifetime. Halfway around the world. And I've been halfway around the world in the body auditing people. Right. From Japan to New Zealand, Austria, Germany. All right? So we're not blue people here, we're not red people. You all come from different states, red states, blue states. You're Thetans. You're immortal beings. You live forever. All right? You're Thetans here, right?
Yep.
All the ones here. Yeah. So put your attention on me and what I'm saying, not on my body. Who's this guy up here? Because I'm going to tell you some things that hopefully it's worth you coming here today and tomorrow. I'm going to make it worth it. If not, you come tell me and say, hey, Ray, already, you know, it's not worth it. I'm not going to give you your money back. No refunds. It's not the church. They don't do refunds anyway, do they anymore?
No.
Nah. Anybody have any news about Miscavige?
I think he's long gone. In more ways than one.
They arrest him yet? Somebody's child abuse or something.
I really don't think they will be able to.
He was in hiding or something?
No, I think somebody did him in.
No.
I don't have any first-hand knowledge of that. I just.
Well, no rumor mongering. We got to go by facts. Okay, that's good. So, I know why I came here. And the whole theme about it was, how do we save the free zone, or the independent field? Huh? before I give you my spiel, it's a long spiel, at least an hour. And I'll tell you what I've been doing, and I'll tell you what I think will work. But before I tell you mine, I want you to tell me yours. Has anybody got some bright ideas of how to spread and how to keep the independent field going?
My recommendation is give somebody a hell of a session. They'll keep going.
Somebody new?
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
You'll recover people that way too.
Yeah.
Pretty
Anybody
much
else?
going down.
Well, we've lost so many, like, amazing auditors as they're getting older,
Yeah.
and we need to replace them. We need to do some heavy training and make more auditors. It's like a must.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead, Vicki.
Well, my answer is very long too, and I'll be speaking tomorrow at 1, so I hope you are all staying for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm putting a plug in for myself. There you go.
All right, we'll wait for your answer on that.
See, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have some bright idea about this gentleman?
In line with what Mary just said, the idea I had was a whole bunch of free Scientology libraries and co-audit academies. So anybody can afford to set one up and get all the materials together. This is what I'm thinking of. Is maybe if we build it, it will come.
That's exactly what I did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, build it and they came, and they're still coming.
That's cool.
Right, but we got to build more. We
Exactly.
got to build more because I have an idea of the library too, and I'll tell you, my library is you can look at this wall here and go all the way to that wall, and that's how long my library is, all the way to the ceiling. Okay, but you know what happened to Alexandria, right? Alexandria. Yeah, it got burned down, right? And then there goes all knowledge. It took thousands of years to come, bring it back up. So we need lots of libraries. Elrace put a big library underneath the mountain in New Mexico somewhere, right? Right, you guys heard about that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, but what good is it? It's buried. It needs to be out. It needs to be available for people. All right? I'm glad he did that, but it needs to be available. So every one of us should have a major library. See? Now, you not only should have a library, you should make sure that it lasts beyond your lifetime. In other words, you have to will it to somebody. And you have to will it to somebody that you can trust, that's going to keep it there and not just trash it or give it away or forget about it or let it rain on or whatever. In other words, you have to make sure that you pass it on. All right? And over the years, there's been a lot of people who have this library I just told you about. I didn't buy one book. It was all donated. I ain't kidding you. Right, Leslie? It was all donated.
Pretty much same in Elma, Washington, too.
Yeah.
Okay. People just send me boxes and stuff.
Yeah, right. All right, so I got a responsibility here, say. I not only got a responsibility for the technology I know, but I got to pass it on, And I want to acknowledge this gentleman over here who came from New York a few days ago, and he wants to get trained from me all the way to class 12, right? Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so there's two big responsibilities I have. Now, does anybody remember that Chinese guy? He was a philosopher, and they wouldn't let him leave China unless he gave up all his secrets or all his knowledge. What was his name?
Lao
Tzu. Something like that. I can't pronounce it, so. Yeah, right, I read his book. I read his book even before I got into psychology. That's what we got to do. That's our responsibility, is to pass it on. Create a library, pass it on. If you don't want to do that, then send it to through the free zone library we have, and we have an organization which we had since '04, almost 20 years now, called Free Zone Worldwide, nonprofit. That's what finances this stuff here we're doing, and it's going to finance the library for generations to come. Now, if you do, and when you do, we're all going to be there sooner or later. We're all going to pass to the next level, or reincarnate. Well, if you reincarnate, you better make sure that there's a library. Because the church ain't going to have a library for you. They're burning all their stuff. All their stuff is starting to go and will be on the cloud. So you have to sign up with them, pledge to them your soul, billion years or whatever, and then you can see their library, their altered library, which you probably don't want to see anyway. All right.
I've seen some bad books written all wrong.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a quick comment. Does anybody know Chris Evans?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's big, it's huge. Huge. All the packs.
No, different, it's like different.
Yeah.
He's an Apple Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's my introduction. All right, I'm going to say hello to you, and you say hello back, okay? Hello.
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 Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Thank you. All right. All right, so I'm just reading my script here I wrote I figured out we can do it. Where's some books at here? This is Dianetics R3R. How to run engrams, how to run past lives. Tools of Scientology is listing and annulling, recall, processes, self-analysis, date and locate. If you were an auditor, you would know what the hell I'm talking about. So the word Scientology means knowing how to know, right? Knowing how to know what? You need tools to know how to know anything. If you wanted to know about biology, you would figure out we work there. Biology. That's the first thing you do.
No answers.
That's what Scientology is, all these tools, right? Here's some artboard. This is admin tools. Does this make sense to you? Am I nutty here or what? All right, now I'm getting to how we're going to do this, or if you want. Well, about 20 years ago, in '04, I wrote this book, How to Find Your Soulmate.
Oh.
And I was doing like seminars, and I was doing all of them. You tend to get a little wiser when you get a little older, I hope.
I can vouch for that.
And I came out with a book called How to Find Your Correct Mate.
I like that one better.
Yeah. Why don't you go to your area and do seminars on this stuff? Your friends, right? All right. The other book I did was How to Flourish and Prosper. I took the title from your ex-husband. Recently, because I was going to do this event. See, this event motivates me. Because you know what Diana Hubbard once told us? She said, this is what her dad told her. If you're not having fun, you're not doing Scientology.
I'll buy that.
Not doing it, man. Not having fun in life. You're off the bridge. You probably went into the abyss, and you're trying to swim up. I know. I've been off the bridge a few times. It doesn't feel very good. Don't do it. All right, I'll get on my talk. All right. Now, see, my whole thing about these books is to get the tech out. Free the tech. Church Scientology has monopolized it, right? Church Scientology has monopolized it. And into things that, anyway, the way to free the tech is to get it out there and use it. And pretty soon, your environment and the people around you will start to spread it around. You know, the idea of gradients, axioms, all that stuff. All right. So this, of course, will bring people in. Reading these books, they're going to contact me. Or contact, if you spread it around, you could contact, say you get 10 books and you spread them around to your friends. They'll come back to you and say, where'd you get this stuff? Where'd you get it? And you just send them over to your nearest auditor. And that's when you'll give him that first session you're talking about.
Yep.
See, why does that work? See, Hubbard did it with the green, remember little green books? The little green books? All those were Division 6 books. They were like these books. Problems at work, just to tell people that there's some problems at work that you can look at and do a little better in life. And then after they read the book, they would contact an org or an auditor or somebody. That's what I did there. See? And you could write books too. Not that I have to give you a license, but I'm just letting you know. These books I've been doing for almost 20 years, right, Leslie? Over 20 years. Has the church arrested me or? No, they don't care. They don't care. All they care about is their money, what they're doing, whatever they're doing. Because I don't care about them either. How's that? I don't. Okay, so what am I doing in these books? Yeah, you know what a paradigm is. Who knows what a paradigm is?
What is that?
Huh? Go ahead. What?
Just stop it.
It's a set of extant phenomena.
Okay, very good. Anybody else have a definition for paradigm? It's a pattern or model or underlying theory or methodology. Okay? It's a model, underlying theory or methodology. What about a construct? Construct. I'll read it to you. Construct is bringing together various concepts, various paradigms. Okay? Now, the problem is, and I'll use this because my voice is getting low. Hello, is he working?
No.
Hello. I got too close to that, it just springed up.
Try pushing the button all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so when you tell somebody about clearing, we're going to clear you, or you can go clear, that's a new concept, isn't it? New concept for them. And a lot of times What's happening with that individual in front of you, it bounces against his paradigms that he was taught, his concepts, his constructs. And it just doesn't, it goes boing, and it goes, what? There, yeah, right. Yeah, these hang-ups I got all my life. In fact, I had one guy get mad at me because he sat him down, and in 5 minutes, we handled something, right? In this session, you handle it. He stood up and goes, Ray, I had that for 20 years. And you got rid of it in five minutes? I said, yeah, you went exterior. What are you going to do? You're done today. You know. Yeah, he was in shock. That's how fast the tech could work, you know. Okay, so what I've done, very sneaky, I introduced various paradigms that unlock his brainwashed paradigms that he's in. Now, how do you know if you've been brainwashed or not? Yeah, I'll ask you this. Does an insane man know he's insane? Or woman? No. They don't know they're insane. They think everything's fine. Not me. It's you. Right? But what you got to do is unlock those paradigms he's sitting in that make him, you know, this brainwash stuff. The first 12 years of your schooling it's brainwashing you. Sorry to say. You know, getting up early in the morning, having a little lunch, and wind up showing up. And then, of course, if you don't, there's discipline.
And then there's catechism.
And yeah, and then anyway, so 12 years, first 12 years are like that, right? You just show up. And you know who put the school system together? You know, the school system, it used to be in one big building. Everybody went to the school in one big building. You had high schoolers there, turn of the century. I'm talking about turn of the century. You know, my older brother went to that kind of system. You know, he was telling me when he was quite old. The little kids there, and there was him there. He was in high school. All right, so who put the whole system together of 12 years in school and all that was the industrialists. Because they needed people to go work in an industry. They needed to go work in the factories. See? And to go work in the factories, you needed the 3 R's, right? You needed to read a little bit. You needed some math. And that's what's been going on here, see? But there's no factories anymore. You know, we shipped them all out over to China. Hopefully they come back. Anyway, so what I'm doing with these is shifting their paradigms around a little bit, kind of jogging them. You know, waking them up a little bit. Having them look at other things than what they saw. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you the paradigm that LRH gave you in the beginning. It kind of shook you a little bit. You didn't know this. That's the first thing he showed you, right? This is the construct. This is the paradigm. Reality, affinity, communication equals understanding. And you go, wow, that makes sense. I thought nobody can talk to anybody. You know, I thought, whatever. The other construct, which was, if you got into the church more, you got this KRC thing. Knowledge, responsibility, and control. You never were told that this equals power. Go find it. Go find it in all the text you got in your house. You will not find this. You'll find it blank. Why? Why? Because, I'll tell you why. Because the KRC triangle is senior to the ARC triangle. And who had the knowledge in the church? The church did. Hubbard did. Who had control? Church, Hubbard. Who had responsibility over his cause? They were. Are they going to give you the power? No. No. No, they kept their power. But I unleashed it. I unleashed it to the independent field. Not letting you guys in on it. KRC equals power.
Where did you find that reference? Is there a reference on that, or did you just figure that out?
They didn't give you no reference, man. There's no reference to it.
So you just figured it out?
I experienced it. I experienced it as a reality. And I give it to you to invite you to look at this. You don't have to believe it.
It makes perfect sense.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I always denied that, but now that you wrote it, I can't deny it anymore. It's true.
Use it. Get it out in the field. Create books if you want. You don't have to buy my books. You can create your own. You're smart enough to do that. Every one of you guys. Once your awareness gets up high enough, you know, you're gonna supersede some of the things that even Hubbard was talking about. Because he says it to himself on the tape that I don't have time to tell you everything. He says on tape, I don't have time to tell you everything. Well, these are the few here. Right. References. Ha! Anyway, yeah, anything that Hubbard did, he invites you to check it out, you know, see if it's true for you. All right, I'll show you one more thing about this.
Oh, yeah.
The big S goes right through that, doesn't it? Scientology. Scientology. This is what Scientology is. The tools of Scientology. You sit somebody down who's never heard about the church, never got any bad propaganda, and just explain this. Spend an hour explaining ARC, KRC, and what Scientology is. You're going to have a changed person right in front of you. He's going to go home and he's changed. You opened up his awareness. He's like, whoa. We forget. I mean, we go through these higher levels and we forget where we were. You know? I remember when somebody first showed me this, it was like, whoa, this is more than I was getting over at the university from the psych department. I know, I got 2 degrees. I got 1 degree in psychology. They're nowhere near Scientology stuff. This is way ahead of them. So I graduated, but I just didn't dump their books, you know, I just got the right ones. Anyway, that's all we did? Yeah. All right. No, I'm going to put more stuff there later on. All right, any questions so far? I know I'm going a little fast. Any questions? It's called brainwashing.
Oh, yeah,
It's a rumor that Hubbard wrote it, but no, I found another guy that helped. I'm sure Hubbard puts his 2 cents in it. There was another guy that helped put this book together as well. Let me see if you know his name. Charles Strictly or Strictly? Charles Strictly? His name's on this thing. Name?
Ray, we're getting some feedback.
Oh, you are? Okay.
It might be because you put the mic.
Oh, yeah, you got both mics.
Okay. I think the
How's
microphone
that?
is sitting there.
Oh. Brainwashing. And then he says, then down here, right at the bottom, it says psychopolitics. Has anybody here studied psychopolitics? Very good. read this. It says, the art and science of asserting and maintaining dominance over the thoughts and loyalties of individuals, officers, girls, and affecting the conquest of an enemy. All right. Brainwashing. How do you know you've been brainwashed?
I know how to do the brainwash. It could be done plenty ways. The most simple is to put a person on drugs and then torch him and then implant him.
Yeah, that's implanting is one way, yeah, putting thoughts in his mind.
Propaganda.
Besides being processed, how do you know that you've been brainwashed? I'll tell you the first thing you would know. If you hate somebody.
That's a good point.
If you're upset and hate somebody. I called this guy a little client of mine. I said, how you doing? He said, he's a doctor. And he said, fine, but you know, I hate that political person. Or I hate this, I hate that. Hey. I said, who have you been listening to? You don't even know this person. Have you met this person? Have you talked to this person? No, but I hate the person. Obviously, he's been brainwashed. See? And that's what politicals or people who want to, and I'm not saying that red states or blue states have been brainwashed. Yes, I am saying they've both been brainwashed. To hate each other. Say third party. Remember third party?
Yes.
Concept? Yeah, somebody's third partying us, Val.
That's right.
Somebody's like keeping us separate. Somebody wants to pull down this country. Okay. The brainwashing techniques, where they found these techniques, you know, every town ever would go into, big town, he would go into, and I think they found this information at the, what do you call it, the government? Yeah, the government had this pamphlet, and they got it from the Russians who knew about brainwashing. You know about Russians, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, the Library of Congress. That's where they got this information. And there's another reference to this. It's in the red volumes. Volume 2, the original red volumes, volume 2. And I wrote down the page somewhere. If you're really interested, get a hold of me. Anyway, so if you hate, you've been brainwashed. I personally don't hate anybody. What's that?
To support this, in George Orwell's book, 1984, they would assemble people and they'd have, I forget, 30 minutes of hate. Or
Yeah.
I remember that. I read that book.
Yeah.
And I saw the film. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The 30 minutes is just raving and ranting about hating. Yeah. Yeah. Hate the Sykes, hate the government, hate the whatever. Hate the blue states, hate the red states. Yeah, it's all garbage. You guys are things. You guys got to raise. You guys hopefully have raised above that kind of crap, because that's what it is. You're not blue. You're not red. You're not yellow. You're not black. You're not white.
Well,
Things.
we are not political.
Yeah. So we're above it, politics. You know, we're exterior from politics.
Exactly.
Right? That's what Albert said. An OT should be exterior from society, so you can like view it and do something about it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And this is exactly what happened to the C of S, you see, is that they started hating the mission holders, and the mission holders hated them, and they had a big conflict. There was a third party somewhere. Come on. And it all went bad. It all went bad. Look at it. It's bad, bro. The church is. How many have been over to the church lately? See what's over there. How many people are there?
In Seattle. Oh, a 0.
Yeah.
In Seattle.
I tell you, that's the way it is in San Francisco, that's the way it is everywhere.
It's pretty good.
There were like 3 cars from the Dallas, Texas order. There were like 2 or 3 cars, and it's a huge building. Huge.
Hey, Dallas. See, these kind of reports I get everywhere. Dallas, Washington, San Francisco, I mean, LA, I mean, it's everywhere. We're the only guys that can really save this technology, you see, because we got no restraints. We're free. We're free of those guys. And we're free to use the tech, not third party to each other, see? And spread the tech on around.
Yeah, but
Get the tech out.
you have to give facts, not the third party. I run across people who tried to do us in, and it was supposed to be our people. They weren't even with the church.
And rant against you, they've been third party, been brainwashed by someone or some organization.
Never thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
To create this craziness, you know. Even though Fox News was what do you call it, sued for $1.8 million or whatever,
Yeah.
billion,
And they got rid of
for lying, and they keep on lying, yeah. But see, if you look at the Nazis, that was their tech, you know. It's like you tell big lies and keep on telling it, and then pretty soon people believe it.
The big lie
You know, they're zombies out there, you know.
That's what Trump said about the news media.
You hate them, you ignore them. Just like Hubbard said, you ignore the cur dogs barking at your feet. You just ignore them and you get on with it. Get on with your bridge and get on with disseminating as much as you can the tools. See? The tools. Because that's what makes a guy better. It's not like some status, you know. Oh, I got the old team certificate up here, and don't you feel better? No, he didn't feel better. If you use the tools on him, he's going to feel better. He's going to do better. You see, I bragged a little bit starting my conference, you know, about how much audience I got and stuff, because I wanted to let you know who I was. And but I don't usually do that with people. One, they'll never believe that I seen 20,000 past lives. It's too unreal. You see? All right. Okay, no more questions till the end, okay? Okay, let's get on with this. Psychopolitics. So the best way to get rid of brainwashing is to give new concepts. Powerful concepts.
Last word.
Pardon?
Give new what?
New concepts. You should sit up here so you can hear.
Okay.
I know you got trouble. So do I. Anyway, so I'll try to speak a little louder. Yeah, that's how you deprogram brainwashing. You give them better concepts. What is the truth, right? Does the system of orgs work?
No.
No.
I agree with you. They don't work. The best when you look back in the 50s, where Dianetics was first brought out, there was all kinds of Dianetic groups, Dianeticists they call themselves, and when Scientology organizations were starting to form, a lot of them didn't join, you know, because they didn't want to belong to a big org, you know. They wanted to just co-audit and do that kind of stuff. But no, I don't. Obviously, it doesn't work. Otherwise, it'd still be going on. There'll be a big org right now. We'll all be sitting at the org. You know, no crazy out ethics, no crazy high prices, right? No Sea Org. I think the Sea Org was Elvin Hubbard's Frankenstein. You know, who came back and bit him in you know where. You know, it just became a Frankenstein.
You gotta give him credit though, he didn't apologize for creating a big monster.
You did?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, and RJ,
Yeah.
yeah, right, you did. All right, let's go on here. I decided to introduce it to you guys first. You're the first ones to hear about it on this planet. I'm thinking global, see? And then I'm going to introduce it to all my clients first, next, and then to all the free zoners out there in independent fields, and then public. When you go to the San Francisco airport or some airport, you're going to see my little booklet there.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it's going to be put globally. I'm going to stick it out globally. There's I got interviewed by some people from the Ukraine about 3 or 4 months ago, and he talked to me for 2 hours. Yeah, they were in Ukraine, and in the background you hear an explosion once in a while. And they were on the radio, they were live, right, interviewing me, and they were interested in these books.
Wow.
See? And I said, well, you got to wait a while. I'm not ready to bill them out yet, but they're going to get them. You imagine them getting Scientology, these kind of books. See? And these are like, all these books are written by Dennis and these other. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to bring people in to the independent field. They might bring them in the church. I don't know. I don't care. Because if they're in the church, they're there maybe a few months, maybe a year, and then pretty soon they're calling me or Trey or Pat.
Yeah, we call Pat out.
Okay.
Most people escape from the church.
Look up page 372. 372. Anybody knows what Scientology 1 is? Scientology 1. What do you think it is?
It's like the basics of to click.
Going off the deep end here. Yeah, I use the tools, yeah. Scientology 1. If I could read it. Here's my other glasses. Scientology 1. Usable data about living in life. Without training. Applicable without training. Presented in a confidential way in magazines and booklets. These are booklets. That's what I call them. It contains an assist. It contains, I'll let you read it if you like, ideas about life, the mind, beingness, and the universe. It has practical drills, etc., etc., etc. In other words, it's a very beginning thing. It's a very beginning thing that a person could just sit down and read and make sense to them. When I read Dianetics, Monetizing Mental Health, I was going to college. I was in my last semester, going to graduate, and it just made so much sense to me about engrams, secondaries, and how to leave these things out, and then at the tone level, the dynamics. Yeah, there's dynamics. Wow, I didn't know that. It separated them out. See, so I went to my professor, and I said, Dianetics, look at this. And he said, no, that's a cult. Don't look at that. Well, when someone tells me not to look at something, I better look at it. See, I didn't get brainwashed. See, that was a pivot point where I could have gotten brainwashed, and accepted his ideas, false ideas, that it was just a cult. And this was 1969. See, when things were a lot better in church. There was no Sea Org in the orgs. There was no flag, except for the Apollo, somewhere. So I didn't get brainwashed by the authority of the professor. I said, I'm going to find out for this myself. So I read it, and then I audited somebody on it. They had a big secondary, and I just told her to keep telling me about it. They tell me again, and we just ran it over and over again on recall out of dynamics. And to this day, that person still acknowledges me for changing her life because of that session over 50 years ago. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. You gotta pat yourself on the back sometimes. You gotta pat yourself on the back, All you guys gotta do that. You gotta acknowledge yourself, pat yourself on the back what you're doing. See? Because what you're doing is miraculous. All right. Scientology 1. I'll mark it here if you guys want to read this. I've done a lot of admin training. That's 1, 0, 1, 2, other stuff, executive courses, stuff like that. And is that some of us got a Division 4, which is the division in New York that delivers Scientology and Dianetics, right? Who knows about the orgs? Anybody here been trained by it? Okay. Division 6 is bringing people in. Well, that's a big outpoint we have. We're not bringing people in. We have our Division 2, which brings our clients that we got in, right? But we don't have Division 6. This is Division 6 of the Org Board. What's going on here? All right, now, to make sure you don't get brainwashed, there's a datum that Hubbard put out in the association newsletter. Yeah, I'll let you read the whole thing if you want. And pretty much he says, your success depends upon the production of effect. Your finances depends on attracting interest. All right. Also, he says in here that if and when people are lying to you, I don't care if it's CNN or Fox News, if they're lying to you, they're trying to control you. They're brainwashing you. Someone called me up the other day and they go, what about this Fauci guy? I hate Fauci. Remember Fauci? I mean, the guy retired, he was an old man. And I go, who cares about Fauci? Go get a session, will you? You're brainwashed. Who cares? It's over. Anyway, so I figured out how we can save the independent field by getting Div 6 in. And getting the guy who really starts cogniting on these books and the books that you might read and the little green books, and then get him over to an auditor. See? I tried to create a big org outside the church right here in Reno. Some of you might remember that. Me and a friend of mine bought this big 3-story building. And we had in the building, we were renting, it was an office building, we were renting out the offices, but we had 6 rooms designated for an org. How many people joined up the org? Nobody. People are sitting on their engram, their dynamic engram experience with the church, and they didn't want nothing to do with it. So anyway, one person can do it. All right. What time we got?
11:46.
All right. Thank you. That's it.
So back in an hour?
Back in an hour.
An hour? An hour? Okay, so.